Hello everyone, Spooky Guy 444 here. If you or a loved one know of a creative intro idea, then please donate our way. You see, our young YouTuber is currently running in a drought, and he is in desperate need of a new creative intro that is so quirky and goofy that it'll make all of his fans shine bright with joy. If you know someone or you yourself have a great intro idea, please leave it down in the comments or call the number below. Thank you. What is going on, guys? Fresh Shave Guy 444 here, back at you with a new top 10. Now, this is going to be a new series that I will be bringing to the channel. And basically what the series is going to be, it is going to be me naming off my top 5 best and my top 5 worst from every Spirit Halloween year from 2022 to 2008. Not a lot to say. So I'm Spooky Guy 444. This is the top 5 best and the top 5 worst Spirit Halloween 2022 animatronics. Coming in at number 5 for the worst animatronics of the year, we have Techie's Bag of Bones. Now, this one is not one that I think is downright awful, and please keep in mind this is just my opinion. You don't have to agree with this, you don't have to not agree with it. You can do whatever you want, take this at surface level. This is just my opinions on this year's lineup. Bag of Bones, not a huge fan, but I feel it could have been a decent scare, but there's a few factors that measure in as to why I don't think he's great. The Spirit logo on the front shouldn't be there, I feel like. I think it was more pulled off better on the Moonshine Barrel animatronic, but I do think that if it didn't have the Jack the Reaper logo and just had something a little different, I think it would have looked okay. But that, and then the mosh posh of audio just doesn't really fit him. I think he could have just had a, maybe not a unique jump scare noise, but one that wasn't Peekaboo Penny's scare audio. And then the third reason is the Home Depot Goblin. So the Home Depot Goblin is Bag of Bones, except it's the same price, I think. I think Bag of Bones might be more. I don't remember. I think they're the same price. But the Goblin is the same price, except it has an entire full body Goblin attached to it. And the Goblin has more motions for the same price. And I think that kind of takes Bag of Bones down a little bit, because it's like they could have done more and they didn't. So yeah, can't say I'm a huge fan of Bag of Bones, and I'm sorry for the negative start. Here is my 5th favorite animatronic. Coming in as my 5th best animatronic from Spirit Halloween 2022, I have Lord Raven. Now, Lord Raven is not one I'm looking to purchase at all this year, but I do think that he is a very, very cool item. 300 is quite steep, and he's a little on the shorter side, which I'm not a fan of. I think he could have been a great piece at a 7.5 foot tall. I think he would have looked awesome. However, I do think he's still a very imposing piece. Does definitely look imposing. The audio is great. His mouth movement can be kind of janky because it's very loose, and that causes, when he goes back and forth, it causes his mouth to kind of spring, and it doesn't look like he's mouthing the words correctly. But it's not a huge issue. It's kind of like Harbinger, where it doesn't take away from the prop entirely. But I do think Lord Raven is great. Not one I will be purchasing, however. Coming in at the number 4th worst spot, we have the Tombstone Terror. This is a very widely regarded as a not good animatronic. However, I will say, if it was sold anywhere else and if it was like 60 bucks, it wouldn't look as bad. It would just be kind of whatever, it's generic. But that's why people don't like it, is because it's so generic and dull for Spirit standard, and it's not something that they should be selling. It just doesn't belong at Spirit, I feel, and that is why a lot of people don't like it, me included. I do, however, think if this was anywhere else, it wouldn't be as bad, but it definitely wouldn't be high or even really mid-tier on any list. It'd still be pretty low just because it's kind of boring. It's very boring, it's cheap, it's generic, and I and many others are not a fan of this piece. Coming in at my 4th favorite animatronic of Spirit Halloween, we have Lucky Bottoms. Now, Lucky Bottoms is one that's grown on me quite a bit. Seeing him in person at the flagship store, I do think that he's grown on me even more. His audio sounds so clear, and I think that's super awesome. I really do. However, I will say that I do think at 170 he shouldn't be a groundbreaker. Maybe like a sitting prop, or maybe have him be 200 and have him be a life-size Twitcher. I think that would be pretty cool. Is he one I pick up? Maybe. I'm looking at him as an off-sale purchase potentially, but I'm not too sure I'll do that just yet. But he is one that I do quite like a lot, and one that I might try and pick up later in the season. Coming in at the third worst animatronic the Spirit Halloween brings to us this year, we have Rat Girl. I've seen like 0 people really talk about this prop, and whenever it does get brought up, it's relatively negative, and I have to agree with most people's takes on this piece. The moving eyes are neat. Okay, cool, it's got moving eyes, but it just doesn't look like a Halloween prop, and I feel like a Rat Girl prop could be really weird and like creepy and like almost be like a great prop if you did it correctly. They didn't. It's literally like a little girl holding a rat with some blood around its mouth, and it just looks goofy. It looks goofy. And why does it have its toes out? Like, it's like the weird kid at elementary school who would like pick her nose and lick sticks in the corner of the playground. Like, I don't know, she's weird. Not a fan. The audio's whatever. I don't like Rat Girl. Coming in at the third favorite from Spirit Halloween this year, I have Bog Zombie. Bog Zombie is quite cool, and out of all of the ones that we've gone to on the list so far, this is the one that I'm planning to pick up sooner or later. I do quite think he's pretty good. Is he my favorite zombie animatronic? No, not even close. But I do think that he's a pretty solid prop. He could have been a little bit taller, especially for $250. But I think with a coupon, $175, $180, very good price for him. Is he one that I plan to keep? I have to think about that, but I think he'll be great for the haunt. I think in the moment right now, he is a potential purchase if my store has him on opening day, Friday. And yeah, awesome prop. Not much to say about him. He's relatively generic, but it works in his favor. The arms being like not motor controlled but still being able to rock, I think is a great concept, and I think SVI did that very well. I like Bog Zombie. I do quite like Bog Zombie. Coming in at my coming in at the number 2 spot, this one might be a bit of a hot take because this is a very oddly popular prop and I don't get why at all. I don't understand it. I have Possessed Pumpkin. Possessed Pumpkin went from one when he leaked that could have been my favorite prop of the year. I thought he looked incredible. And then his video came out. And then I saw him in person. He just gets progressively worse. The audio is horrible. I don't know who greenlit that, but it's not good. I don't like the audio at all. The Cookie Monster thing, everybody said it. I'll say it again. Sounds like Cookie Monster. And the LED lights are whatever. I don't really care. They don't bother me too much. But they're there. And just the motion, he looks like he's in the crouchy stance. And the crouchy stance it's a classic. It's synonymous with crouchy. And it should work on a prop like this, but he just looks odd. And that might have to be with his outfit, because he has a very generic outfit. For a head, if painted correctly, because the paint job looks awful on a lot of them, if painted correctly, would look incredible. Sadly, one that is just lost a lot of lost potential and just not a good prop in my eyes. For the people that own them, you do you. I'm clearly in the minority, but not a fan of Possessed Pumpkin at all. Coming in at my second favorite from Spirit Halloween this year, we have the horrifying Widow animatronic. Widow is great, spectacular. The detail on the face, she's so realistic looking, and the neck wound is great. I've seen a lot of complaints where she doesn't do enough, and I totally get that. Totally get that. It doesn't bother me too much that she only snaps the neck, because I think the audio makes up for it, the bone cracking at least. I'm not a huge fan of her like goofy laugh, but I do like everything else about her a lot. I think she is a spectacular piece. Is she one that I'm going to pick up? Yes, absolutely. I do really want to get Widow. I'm hoping that she comes out before the season ends, because I would love to have her for the haunt, and I love Widow. Widow's great. Shout out to the Widow animatronic. It's a shame that she was lowered to online only status because she deserves to be in store, and some props don't deserve to be in store. Like the #1 worst animatronic of Spirit Halloween this year, I have Betty Sharp. This is, I know I was sarcastic in my tier list video. If you watched that, check it out if you haven't. I was sarcastic on my remarks about Betty Sharp, saying that she was a great prop, greatest prop of all time. You know, that point absolutely still stands. But in all realness though, there is so much wrong with her. The face looks like an emoji. It doesn't look good at all. The bag moving, only being 170 does not add to it. I think this prop could have gotten a slight pass if it had a turning body. I'm not kidding. Motion is a lot of the time what makes or breaks animatronics for me, and it really did break me on Betty Sharp, because she just gets progressively worse from like the leaks to now. And like, produced models don't look great. You can see straight through the dress. It's like she's a ghost. And she's just not good, especially for $170. That is a lot of money, and especially for what you're getting. And it's just not a good animatronic at all, in my honest opinion. I do think that she shouldn't have got produced at all, or if she did, she should have had a lot of updates to her. Is she Johnny Punk bad? No. She's probably second to Johnny Punk, and they're second to the Jimmy Michael, but that's a whole different story. And to end it off on a lighter note, my favorite animatronic of the 2022 Spirit Halloween season, it's the Straw Man. If you know me, if you watch my channel, not a lot of people have, I've been flopping recently. You guys know I am a huge fan of the Straw Man. I think he is spectacular. The servos look great on him. He is a little lanky, and it looks kind of odd, but I do think that it's not a horrible con to him to where it ruins his whole personality. I do think that his audio is great, his sculpt is great, detail great. He is just an all-around great animatronic, and I do think at 300 it's a little steep, but he's very tall. Very tall animatronic. I will say I'm very impressed with him, owning him in real life. As you can see, he is up there. Sorry if my bedroom's a little messy. I have like 10 animatronics in here, so I do apologize for that. And yeah, Straw Man, amazing animatronic. Not much I can say that hasn't already been said, but I do hope you guys did enjoy today's video. I know that this is a bit of a different video, different location, but I wanted to try something new for you guys. And yeah, not much for me to say. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like, leave a comment your 5 best and 5 worst from Spirit Halloween this year. And yeah, I'm Spooky Guy 444, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.